Hi, good day Honkalites. Today's question, Part A. Oxygen gas and molten sodium chloride contain separate particles. Complete the figure to describe how the particles in these two substances differ in their movement, arrangement, and attraction for one another. We will be focusing on part A of this question. I will first start off with a recap, followed by the answers and some misconceptions to this concept of the question. Attempt the question on your own first before moving on to hear my explanation. There are 2 points to consider when answering this question. Number 1, you will have to consider the state of the matter. Is it a gas, or a liquid, or a solid? Number 2, you have to consider the bonding of the substance. Does it have a covalent bond, or does it have an ionic bond? Let's look at the state of matter first. Next, let us consider the bonding of the substance. Covalent bond and ionic bond. Covalent bond is between non-metal and non-metal. As such, oxygen molecule is of covalent bonding because it's 2 oxygen atoms that are bonded together. It is oxygen molecule because it is of covalent bond. Next, ionic bond. Sodium chloride consists of ionic bond because sodium is a metal, chlorine is a non-metal. As such, sodium chloride contains sodium ion and chloride ion. Please take note that it is ions that are present in this substance because it is of ionic bond. Now, this is the answer to part A of the question. Take note that under oxygen gas, particles are described as molecules. That is because oxygen gas is of covalent bonding. Under molten sodium chloride, particles are described as ions because sodium chloride is made up of ionic bonding. Be clear, covalent bond, you use molecules. Ionic bond, you use ions to describe the particles. Next, state about the state of the matter. For example, in gas, it moves rapidly and in all directions. The molecules are far apart and the attraction of forces are weak in a gas. Look at the liquid. So this is how you will describe the movement, arrangement and attraction between gas particles and liquid particles. Now, I would like to draw your attention to observations made by the teachers of students' mistakes. First mistake. Students do not realize that molten sodium chloride is a liquid. Molten, what does it mean? It just means that the solid substance has been melted to form molten state. Molten state is the same as liquid state. Error number 2. When distinguishing solids and liquids, students like to say particles move freely. This is wrong. Particles in liquid do not move freely. Instead, you must say that particles in liquid slide past each other. Particles in liquid slide past each other. Error number 3. Do not describe the movement of particles in gases and liquids as random and non-random. Instead, you say particles in gases move at high speed in all directions. In all directions. The last error is for part B, which asks, why does sodium chloride conduct electricity in molten state? Now, you have to remember that sodium chloride is a compound. So compounds have different properties from the elements that it is made up of. You are not allowed to say that sodium chloride conducts electricity because sodium metal conducts electricity. Sodium metal is an element. Sodium chloride is a compound. There is a difference. They are different substances. Instead, you say that sodium chloride has free mobile ions. Hence, it can conduct electricity. Check your answers once again. We hope that you have learned and revised and recapped on particle nature in the course of this question. Thank you.